Excuse me. Over here. No, farther over. Hi. It decides it wants to go over there, which is just an absolute mess. Hi. Um, it's Monday. We're not going to worry about that mess. We're going to worry about this mess. Uh, Also, congrats to Kale and Shree for jumping up on the early crew podium. Good to see you. Um, if you looked, you saw glimpses of some other projects and stuff I have to do. Um, yeah, we're here. Um, Hi, Shree. You're not calling me out for the mess like on my kitchen floor. I'm like, I don't even know what it saw. I was like, it's aimed at the other side of the room. Anyway, what are we doing here? I am very late. It's been a very, very long day. Today was our first launch to our production environment in 7 weeks, over 7 weeks. We had an issue where one of our critical processes had to be essentially rebuilt, and it had to be rebuilt by a specific account, and that was a mess. And then we had another issue where our connections to a vendor database were disconnected in our UAT and our development environments. Luckily, not in our prod environment. So we had to go through and make sure that that was all behaving correctly. And I'm going to have to look at it later tonight to make sure everything's running in prod and that hopefully I don't have to do any more hot fixes tomorrow morning. But at least we're doing it on a Monday. So we have time to make those fixes before anything too critical comes up. That's the idea. Yay, hot fixes. Oh my God. 7 weeks of doing hot fixes for any bugs, anything that we needed to update, anything that was critical that had to be done like before a month away. And so I had to retrofit the hot fixes into dev. So for those who don't know, I work in Power Apps. The Power Platform is a Microsoft platform, so it's not really a developer-friendly thing. I can't deploy part of the code. It's all kind of locked down in the production environment, but there are kind of backdoor ways that I can get in there and messes with things. Who needs a dev platform? Yeah. Who needs other lower environments to test things and all this? Like, your best testing base is your general users. You get like 1 or 2 testers. You get hundreds of general users, and they know what they're doing. Congrats, Shree, on painting the roses. You forgot that I have this shirt in my merch line. Do I have this in the merch line? This is from the old merch line. I don't know if it's on the current one. Do. I always appreciate it when my IRL friends will hit me up and they'll be like, "Hey, I need some of your merch." It's like, what? Do you guys even watch me? Do you know who I am? Oh, but Kale wasn't so lucky. Off with the head and microphone. maybe a little rigged. No, but that's one of the things we're going to be looking at today. So rigged is a possibility coming soon. Let's hold on to this for a moment while I reconnect the microphone. So one of the things that Shree suggested was to give an option to appeal in the event that your head gets lost, and it would give you like a certain amount of time to appeal, and then put it to chat for a vote on whether or not we take your head. So you could be redeemed before it's taken. I have no idea how we're going to accomplish that, but we're going to try to build that. It's one of the things we're going to be working on a little bit today. I don't know that we'll get to it, so I'm putting that out there kind of as a tentative thing. Yeah, Shree, this is not in the current merch lineup, but we could bring back the like Warhol emotes if you like it. You're a good girl. You deserve to keep your head. We'll see. Um, anyways, yeah. So we'll take a look at that. The other pieces we want to look at is what a great response. Trying to prove how good you are. I can tell. You're a good guy. You deserve your head. There we go. I believe you both. Um, but no, so we're going to take a look. We're live today just on Twitch and YouTube because we're going to be working on expanding functionality for YouTube. We're also going to try to get the Songbot reconnected. I said I believe both of you. I just tease you for a minute. You can unmod yourself. Just time out Shreya the ambivert. I know you are. You're kind of kittens and puppies, and you haven't dismembered anyone recently. As long as they deserved it, it's fine. Like if we're talking like French Revolution type dismemberment, we're good. Ruling class only. We won't get into political opinions at the moment because we don't have a politics tag on, but I think it's pretty obvious where I stand. Um, anyway, yeah, goal today is to expand our functionality. So we want to make it so that the experience over on YouTube is able to be more interactive. We want these commands to behave over there. We're not going to give all of the functionality to YouTube. There are going to be some things that are exclusive to Channel Point redeems. Those things that are waiting for it to build up. Like redeeming a Wonderlandian is not going to go over there. And oh my God, I need to get in touch with the artist because I need to get those ordered. And I'm sure that they're going to be crazy expensive now because of inflation and everything. But I need to get them going. Shree, let's try to chat this week and get yours locked down. So that we can make sure that I have everything I need for that one. I do based on what we talked about before, but I want to make sure that that's still what you want. And yeah, so cool. Yeah, like I said, first thing we're gonna do is try to get this song bot back up and running. I love that I'm like watching myself like 10 minutes back on YouTube. That's funny. We've been live for 18 minutes. I'm watching 10 minutes back in time. Like, wait, what was I doing? No, let's get that off of that screen. We'll get this over here. Now, why are you... You think you're connected. You have my lists. You're connected to Twitch. What is not connected? Twitch chatbot disconnected. Web server not running. What web server? Do I need to update this thing? Can it even update? What is it doing? I don't need a... No, that doesn't need to happen. Okay, you're connected. Okay, I'm just going to restart the bot and see if it works then. You be a lurker tonight, but have fun doing the things you don't understand. Sounds good, Amy. Thank you so much. If you have any special requests, let me know. Happy to look at those. Okay, it's trying to go. Oh, that isn't working. Okay. Um. Do 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 do. Do you have my... Where is my developer stuff? I would normally show you this part, but this is getting into client keys and um, authentication stuff. So this is the one thing I can't show. Then we'll go back over to coding and that stuff. I'm trying to get the Songify bot connected, and I have to get into my developer side. Yeah, you are not linked. Try it that way, maybe. Okay, we've got the song list. Everything here looks good. It thinks it's connected to everything, but then no. Okay. Dragon Wing, hello, hello. Good to see you. Command is on for everybody. Twitch is connected. It just updated with the song name. Let's try to automatically announce the song, see if that'll make a difference. Sure, if you'd like to. Yes. I wanted to talk to you about your Wonderlandian. We keep saying we're going to talk about it, and so I want to actually do it. Why is this not behaving? Maybe try the legacy one. You think you need to cut his head off? So the artist actually has a cute monsters series that she did. I'm almost afraid to ask what she would do if I asked for all of the Wonderlandians with their heads removed. Like, this might be horrific, like actually horrific. Why are you not working? Do I need this thing to be running a web server? No. You crashed out last night. Mod hit you the wrong way. You know what was you're doing. Sorry. No worries. Like I said, if we were in a mature category, I would have let everything through. I think there was only one or two posts for the whole night that I didn't let through. Actually, I think only one post I didn't let through, at least intentionally. And we normally talk so open and allow any language, so it's rare that I don't allow that. When we're doing like multi streams and cozy games and stuff like that, it's going to be more common. But you have nothing to worry about. Um, and turns out your doctor had you on half of your E dose. So you've basically been menopausal. God damn doctors. I know that there is a lot to be said for the individual body and the endocrine system and seeing a freaking endocrinologist who knows what they're doing, because even with my doctor, well, and it's tough with hormones too, because so much of it is going by feel. But you're frustrated about your doctor. Absolutely. No, it was understandable. Um, I think I don't remember if I allowed the message or if I read the message and just left out the like one word that Automod caught. It was not a bad message. It was one word, and it was your frustration and emphasis. It was not your message. I want to be very clear about that. I don't feel bad at all about you sharing your feelings and what's going on when you're here. Um, Somewhere along the way, your 5 milliliter vial was at 40 milligrams versus 20 milligrams per 5 ml, and it got changed to 20. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a mess. I have a huge fear of needles, in case you didn't know. Um, yeah, injecting the same amount but half the concentration. So as far as you were aware, it was just business as usual, and then your body is like, something's missing here. And in return, I'm going to give you discomfort and hot flashes and all sorts of misery. So have fun. Yeah, no. Um, okay. After doing all of that, changing APIs, everything else. Okay. Changing to that API, it has my queue. What the heck? I don't know what's going on. None of these commands are working, and it's connected, and oh my god, no, it's not. We did finish unpacking. Yes, we reached the credits. That game was gorgeous. I know what's wrong. Hang on. Do 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 do. Da, 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 da. They don't bite, they keep it serious, they keep things light. Not that account. Would you like to use this for the chatbot? No. There we go. Oh my god. When you accidentally connect your bot as the main account, if you had been requesting songs today only, over on the Bread and Butterfly page, it'll work. I had to disconnect one account and put the other one in. But before doing that, I had to go to Spotify to my developer account and get my client ID because it had erased it. So I needed to put that in. And then I needed to reauthorize it with my local computer and make sure that all of that was behaving. It had disconnected literally everything. But now it is back and going. And in addition, you've got SSR requests. Go ahead and drop in your requests tonight. They will get added to the queue properly. You can do exclamation song to find out what the current song is. Exclamation mark next to display the next song in the queue. I did not allow skipping at this time. You can do position, but I don't know how that'll work. Like if you do exclamation mark POS, it lets me know that I don't have any songs in the queue. So there is a queue Um, there's the Spotify queue, but the Songify bot also has its own queue. Um, what does SSR stand for? Spotify Song Request. You can also do exclamation mark queue, and it'll give you the next 5 songs, so you can see what's coming up. Exclamation mark song like will still add whatever the currently playing song is to the chat likes playlist, which we use on rare occasions. Um, Asking so you have something to remember the command. Absolutely. Yeah. Um, Realistically, I should add, well, I don't want to add more panels with commands because it's just a little messy. But and it's funny, there's a volume command, but you can't actually control the volume. So I have that turned off. Oh, that's cool. Here. There. Well, there. BVB released a new song. Nice. Okay, let's get over here into what we're actually here for, right? We're building stuff, making this have some additional functionality. Like I said, the main focus is going to be on expanding functionality on YouTube, that side of things, but we'll be having some fun on both platforms. Um, for those of you over on YouTube right now who are wondering, what the heck are they even talking about? We were just working on a song bot. It allows viewers to request songs and to kind of participate in the audio experience. Also share their favorite songs with me and others in chat. Because of the rules on YouTube, we cannot have that particular side of the audio system streaming over to YouTube. I might add a different lo-fi player that only plays to YouTube, but we will see about that in the future because it's going to be a little tricky to make that happen. But I have considered it as an option because I don't want you all to sit there in silence. But definitely, that will be what's happening there. Um, oh, Shri can only request one song, and okay, hang on. You're not supposed to be only able to request one song. Do. Shri, can you try again? It's an interesting replacement, not even the same artist, right? If you do have access to open up Spotify and do the share copy link, that'll make sure that it does the right song. In cases where it decides to go weird, that's just a better way to do it. I don't know what about the API gets it to go that far off track. Yes, absolutely. And then let me double check. Well, it's still there. Oh no, skipping. I like that it says at skipping. It's actually kind of cool. I'd never looked at this particular part of it, so we have this song queue here. And so it has the blue song is now playing, the green song is a chat request. The rest of this is just what's coming in from uh, the playlist that's playing in the background. So I can actually keep this up and know when it's about to run out of songs. Um, this is such a funny list. Oh my God. Okay, but I don't want it to send every song to chat because that's irritating. Where did I put it? There we go. Okay. You didn't even get the right one either. Where do you copy it from? Oh, those are directly from the Spotify app. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit because it's overwhelming my brain. Um, but if you just come in here, hover over the song, click the three dots, and share, copy link to song. That'll copy it to your clipboard, and then you can put that in. I'm not going to do that one. Um, we've got all of the generally speaking playlists. And you can do that on mobile by pressing and holding on the song. Well, we don't want that maximized. Thank you very much. We'll just put it right over there. Okay, let's start with some of this. We're not going to worry about the shout. The YouTube shout out is something that I want to work on. It gets very tricky. You love that part? Kick some ass, right? Um, so we will be revisiting the YouTube shout out at some point. That was something that I did at a request from Amy Ward Art, and it was really fun. SB, hello, hello. Good to see you. Hope things are going well out there. Um, but the YouTube shout out, so where on Twitch, if you do a shout out with any username, it will grab that username, build a hyperlink, and give them a shout out. And not only that, it'll reach out, grab that user, and get additional detail like what game are they playing? Are they affiliated, partnered, not? In this chat, are they a moderator, a VIP, or other? So we get a lot of details about a user record on Twitch. On YouTube, we get next to nothing. And so when we do the YouTube shout out, I have to do it all through code. And I actually have to go to a local user's data file that's in StreamerBot. So in order for a user to show up in this data file, they have to have come to a YouTube stream, chatted in the user stream while I have had StreamerBot running. Then they get saved into my data file. Then I can parse out all of the details from here, find those users, get the properties. Then I can get their ID. I'm not going to open up the DAT file for this, but if it becomes important, we can go through this and actually get to the details. And then it will build the link to their channel because YouTube has a display name, an actual name, an ID, and a handle. And you can use the handle to get there, but you can't get the handle without having the ID. So it's really annoying. So yeah, so we don't do the shout outs on the YouTube side very much. I tried to use it last week. It didn't work. So I'm going to have to look through what's going wrong with that one. But we're not going to do that today. SB, thank you for the donation to the Trevor Project, dropping in $25. We are raising money for the Trevor Project because they have agreed to keep their their, I don't know how I want to word it, their suicide helpline active in spite of the government funding evaporating. And so they are keeping that staff there to answer the phones and help people who are going through a hard time. Even though the direct line is gone, their new numbers are there. And I want to say on the Twitch side, it helps if I spell that correctly. Twitch did put up a page that has a large variety of different helplines and crisis prevention tools. And this is just one of the many of them. I have not. No, Shri. There's a lot I talk about on stream. That particular part of my life, I am not going to talk about on stream without preparation and content warnings. But I'm still here and I'm staying. So that's the important part for this message. But for those who are going through it, I am really glad that there are resources available for them to reach out to, people to talk to that are familiar with what individuals are going through. That diversity is so critical. I was on a call earlier where we were talking about impacts on marginalized genders and how far reaching they are, from what happens in the workplace to what happens in the doctor's office and medical research and life in general, and impacts of government decisions on all sorts of different people, and not even getting into the emotional side of it, but that's there too. And that burden and weight that we carry, and trying to talk to somebody who doesn't understand all of that is just so frustrating. So having tools like the Trevor Project or others that are more catered towards understanding what a person in a certain subset of humanity is going through is so important. I have to add my own song because of this one. It's going to be very different. I'll warn you that now. But let's start out with some of our actions here and get into building some stuff. You think this might be your favorite song by them? It sounds like fall. Oh, there you go. All the Green Men. That's right. Now, if anybody has a song about little green men, leprechauns or Martians, either way, I'm not picky. Okay, let's see. I want to do a follower alert for the YouTube side. This just does the message. Oh, because I built that into Twitch. It's not actually in my OBS at the moment, so that's good to know. I have the YouTube subscriber. Okay, let's do that here. We're going to add YouTube, general new subscriber. I don't know what this means. Requires the stream element integration to be connected to work. This says it's logged in, but I don't think so. Just immediately logged in, no issues. Oh, I don't think I have stream elements connected with YouTube. Wow, that was a hard ending to that song. I have SE Live. Okay, we need that one. We'll activate that for now so that it can connect over there. Um, sure. Please confirm or update your details to get personalized campaign offers. Remind me later. I'm not worried about that. Okay. Let's add chat. That is weird. That's not what I want. Core commands. Triggered create. YT test. And let's do YouTube, send message, test confirmed. You say they don't know how to end any of their songs. They either go into the next song or they just pull the plug. That is amazing. I have a friend that's a a drummer, and she drums in like a million different bands. But she played with a punk rock band last week, and they posted a video and tagged her in it, and they were like, "This is the only way to end a punk rock show." And it's like the guitarist is up there playing, the bassist is playing, they're all having fun up at the front of the stage, and she just like loses it and starts smashing all the drums and the cymbals and then kicks the kick drum like out into the middle of the stage and just tears the kit apart and throws everything everywhere and gets up and just walks off stage. The bassist and guitar player are still playing and like turn around and just look at this pile of drums at their feet. And then they like scratch and end. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that. All right, let me get over to the YouTube side where we are currently live. And if this worked, it should have done something. Oh, there we go. It did. Okay. So a YouTube command did just work. That's what we wanted to see. That's great. Let's grab our follow alert. And obviously, we won't be able to bring our emotes over to the YouTube side, at least not at this time. Welcome, new friend. Can we at user? Go to streamer.bot. API reference. Additional tools. Let's go to getting started. YouTube. Okay, it still says documentation needed. Oh, this is now adding support for Kick. Meld Studio. Nice. VTube Studio. I should add that. Okay, navigate to platforms, broadcaster account, yes, bot account, first words, present viewers. So this is the other Green Man song I put in there. So I'm just worried about sub actions. Exactly. You know, you got to break out the oak and the holly kings. So user groups, descriptions, banning, timing out. Wait, banning a user on YouTube is a pain in the ass. Okay, that's cool. And there's no unban tooling. Oh my god. Why does this not surprise me? On the Eagle Cam, we end up timing out people for like 10 years instead of doing anything like that so that my bot can manage it. But that's through Nightbot. That's not here. You gotta head to bed, get some good sleep, Shri. Okay, let's get that out of here. I want to let's get our studio mode open and we're gonna bounce over. We'll show you the OBS inception here for a minute. And we are going to go to not non-stream, not cameras. We want the visual alerts. And do I have... I need to clean this one up a bit. Because the flashback train was a year ago. And that can go... tongue ties should not be visible. That's a scene. That's fine. Oh, that's a... Okay, tarot stuff I need to clean up. The charity cloud. Yep, I need to update this because it's got Coco, it's got SB, but the rest of these were from a previous charity. Oh, that's another thing we want to work on. So we'll come back to that one. Right now, I just want to know. That's the follow alert. Twitch General, Twitch Charity, Blurp, Throne. Oh my God. This is why my OBS is having so much trouble. All of these alerts. Okay, at least you're shut down because you're not visible. Okay. This is an image. Did I put it here? Yes. Which one are you? Why did I put the PSD in here? 250, 191. This is the bigger one. Oh, that's the original. I guess this can stay right where it's at. Let's add a group. And then we need a text scene. Oh, I can totally cheese this. Um, I was just realizing that because we do anonymous follows, I don't actually have to have it change every time we get a subscriber, because I was going to try to pick that up, but I don't want to call out YouTube subscribers when I don't call out YouTube follows, because they're the same thing. It's not like getting a sub on Twitch. Oh, that's tiny. How big do you need to be? Hello, Sammy. Now I am going to change that image. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll swap it out because this one obviously is still Twitch, and we want it to be specific to the YouTube follower in this case. So we'll have a YouTube version of it and a Twitch version of it. Do. You jumped a little too. Yeah, that one kind of came out of nowhere. Okay, Lorena McKinnett. All right. Wait, is it putting a little dance emote after each of the songs? No. I wonder why it added a dance emote to that one. Oh, it didn't. It just has dance with the capital D. Thank you, BTTV, for adding emotes. Um, All right, let's hide that alert. And we'll get out of studio mode and get this back over here. We got ads coming up in a couple minutes, but I think we can finish this one real quick. So we're going to go OBS, sources, and set source visibility. Where are you hiding? I'm going to return to innocence. Wait, is that right? Okay, yes. I'm like, it's been sampled a few times, so it could have been something else. How is Sammy tonight? We are obviously doing a little tech stream tonight. And I'm going to have to do a lot of cleanup. Where did you put the group? Oh, in the middle? That makes sense. Delay. Milliseconds. I don't know that I can make YouTube subscribers anonymous because I think in YouTube chat it pops up and lets me know, but we'll find out. Are you saying that confetti was to get the streamer's attention because the streamer wasn't reading chat? And that's why your message here is a bunch of bite emotes? The person who is becoming your bestie in class is fantastic. Surprised you with some Sammy level nasty jokes. I fully expect some DMs. But before we go to ads, oh, Sammy coming in here and getting caught right away. Off with her head. Thank you for painting the roses and calling me out. And there's the ads. You could have used a free way to get the streamer attention, right? You missed it too? Oh, okay, good. I need to add a sound effect to it because I want it to have more. You could do this one. I mean, I know that you have other free ones as a mod, but...
And more big dicks.
I mean, there's that one too. Use it in a sentence, right? I mean, the whole sentence was, I'm going to have to go back and see what it is that I said that you thought was and more big dicks. But, you know, that was the one time only that we played. Oh my God, what was it? Is it Outlast? Horror game in an asylum. Yeah. Yeah, no. That one was too much for me. You know what I like? I went to chat and typed into chat what song is playing when it's right here on my screen. For more legs, but whatever. We don't have a good soundbite for more legs. Okay, so we've added a quick one for the YouTube subscriber. Let's do a test there. It displays. That looks good. And on the YouTube chat side, we have welcome new YouTube friend. So excellent. Ignore the visual. That's way behind. Okay, that's the first one. We've got a lot that we want to give functionality over there. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to allow them to lose their heads. Because, I mean, of course we do. So painting. We got painting the roses. Oh, we're running on the copy. Let's do a new command. Back to the show. Welcome back, everybody on Twitch, writing YouTube and saying Twitch. Welcome back, everybody that was stuck behind the ads and enduring those for us. We appreciate it. We appreciate you sticking around. So this is going to be a YouTube message. Anybody can use it. We have cooldowns. Can I somehow make this ignore bot, ignore internal, persist user counter, case sensitive? It has to be at the beginning. Mode. No, I'm not going to do a regex. That would be annoying. This is in seconds. Let's give a 5-hour cooldown. How many seconds is that? So 300 times an additional 60, 18,000. Will you accept that? Okay. So it'll have a 5-hour cooldown before it can use again. Pub, hello. Hi, YouTube. Need to be paid a solid $50 before you start doing a regex, right? At least. We're getting into actual work there. That doesn't sound fun at all. Okay, so we need to duplicate this action, but is it? I don't know. No, don't delete all. Just delete this one. Thank you. YouTube, send a message. Is it going to be? I need to do this differently. Copy. Deep name here. Why did I change off of this? Oh, this is the really old version. Oh my gosh. Regix is the closest thing to an alien language. It's like functional wingdings. I am so glad that you know it. Okay, send the message, delay, execute code. But now this code needs to go with YouTube. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right. Well, let's see if we can get this connected. Add user to group. Let's try that because that's part of what we need to do here anyway. There is no documentation to support this piece. Fine. Okay. So much for that. What broadcast to apply the ban to all latest or variable? Oh, interesting. You can do a single stream ban. User login required can be a username or variable like username. Okay, let's try that. Band username, ID, user, string user ID, direction, broadcast ID. Message use bot fallback, broadcast ID, yes. They don't have a lot here for the YouTube side. So before we get into here, let me go back to the YT subscriber and let's just try this with the username for the moment. Will it catch my name? Yes. Okay. So it does catch it when we put in a command. And you know what? I'm making this too hard on myself. Because we now have the action queue and can actually get the details from what did we get? I've never looked at what we get from YouTube before, so this is fun. All right, we get the tags. We get the user profile picture. Nice. Okay. So command ID, broadcast title, description, published at. Copy all variable names. What? I have weird notes. Ignore the names of my titles here. All right. We've got our command details, our broadcast details, our user details. User is sponsor? What? That's our input from the command. Here's more user details. User, username, user type, is subscribed, is moderator, user previous active, event source, then more broadcaster details. Okay. You love a variable list? Yeah. I shan't ignore them. I will spell check and make sure they are called hello world. Yes, as you should. I am not subscribed to myself. I am my own moderator. User type is YouTube. We got the user ID here. Username and user. Good. Okay. I'm going to set this aside here, just over with Notepad on the other screen. It's not going anywhere because we're going to need to work here. And what do I need? I need random integer in range. If user ID is Sammy. Sammy, could you go over and type on the YouTube side, exclamation mark YT capital T EST? Just subscribe to yourself. You deserve it. I wish I could. YouTube, I don't think, allows us to subscribe to our own channels. If random in range, this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky. is we have the if caught or not caught, and then we're going to have the pause for redemption chance on if caught, but this number I need to make a variable. So I'll worry about that after we get it working. Exclamation YT what? uh like YouTube test, exclamation mark, lowercase YT, and then capital T for test. There we go. Thank you. Okay, that was actually important. I actually wanted cute at. Thank you. We need this one so that we can come in here and find Sammy and get Sammy's ID and copy that, because we can't let Sammy off the hook by her going over to YouTube and trying to bypass the Sammy catch. And this is user ID with the lowercase d. Okay, great. So this part is fine. Run action YT caught and YT got. And then user ID to string. Okay, that should be fine, although it should still come through this way. Random. All of this is good. I don't pass through the user ID. I only use it for that one thing. Okay. So I need this to come with me over to the other two. Compile, are you happy? Yes? Okay, great. Whitey Roses. Welcome in, new YouTube friends. Sammy, I fear you are being hacked by Vi right now. She likes it. I'm going to just duplicate these real quick. And then so this is the add to group. I'm wondering if this needs to not be CPH since it's YouTube. I'm gonna be interested to see if that changes. User redeemer, because it's not user redeemer, it's user target. No, it's not, because I don't have a target. How is this going to work? Increment. We're going to add a YouTube message. If that works, it would keep the count between both platforms, which would kind of be cool. I'm optimistic, but I don't think it'll actually work. because I don't think we don't have the redeemer, so that's going to be tricky. Why did you not copy? Bring over my username. Oh my god. The message length on Twitch is 500. The message length on YouTube is 200. I am 300 short. Um, Mostly phone calls, flirting with one another, supporting your ex and another. Okay. Do what you gotta do. There we go. It wouldn't paste because I didn't have any characters available, but I didn't know that. Okay. Ending the queen's streak. Queen's blank head count. Okay. And then we'll bring over chat's finished count. Sammy, if you would like to on the YouTube side, I know you're on phone calls, so no worries if you are. I can do it myself. It would be exclamation mark paint to see if it behaves. This isn't Signal. Well, that's good. Okay, that message in Twitch. Oh, they're doubling up on YouTube. Okay. Well, it caught you on Twitch. Uh-oh. You can't see it because I don't have it all displayed here in the chat. But Sammy just lost 2 more heads. It is adding to the same counter. Yes, I'm using the global counter. So that's good. I didn't expect it to work. I thought for sure that it was going to be broken. What am I looking for? Variables. No, this variables is what I want. So yes, it did the right counters. I just need to go back to the actions and make sure that I turn off where it shouldn't be. So you should not be here anymore. You should. You need to go to bed. Sounds good. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, oh no, I started so late today. Good night. Get some good rest. Thanks for hanging out. Always good to see you. Sammy D has lost their head 1 time. Sammy D has lost their head 2 times. Oh, okay. So one thing to be aware of is that it's going to do. I should move that some of the images around because we keep moving chat around. Swifty, hello. Thanks for popping in and giving Sammy a hug. Um, so you won't have to worry about that doubling up because it was firing off the Twitch one and the YouTube one. So it was running 2 in parallel. But because it runs off of user ID, it actually picked you up on both sides. And so now in our variables persisted users, we have the YouTube user, Sammy D. And let's make this correct. I'm not going to try to merge YouTube and Twitch users. That's too far. Um, have to pretend that Swifty's bot is here. I don't know what Swifty's bot does, so I will have to just take your word for it. I like that there's Rip the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Wait, where are the actual death counters? They're up here. Gotta love self-generating variables. Finish a 12-hour workday, you're beat. Oh my gosh, that is a lot. Yes, we're working in StreamerBot. We just got our songbot working again, so people can do song requests. Um, thank you, Sammy. Sammy just added another deaths here for software and game development. Um, but yeah, we're doing a little StreamerBot stuff here, and the idea is we are expanding some of our functionality that we have on Twitch over to our YouTube streams. Kind of just making it so everything is a little bit more integrated, a little bit more friendly. Some other things I want to do is like, obviously, I need to update my Stream Deck because everything's been, it was shut down for 2 months, so everything's slowly coming back. Um, but when I switch between my chatting and my BRB screens and things like that, I mute my microphone, but my cameras are still on. It's just I go to a different scene. And well, I'll just show you. So in the inception here, I've been using right now I'm using Stream Elements for multi-streaming. And so it's pushing to YouTube, it pushes to TikTok. And then I can add custom RTMPs to this as well. So like this one is because I did notice in my scenario, my particular YouTube account manages I think 7 YouTube channels, and it kept defaulting to my default YouTube channel regardless. So you see this violacious. But it actually needs uh, the violacious raw because this one is actually Viotech. And so I ended up going live on the wrong one, and I need to clean this up. You haven't messed with StreamerBot much. You have it, but you've been lazy and relying on Mix It Up. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with Mix It Up. Mix It Up is a great bot. Like there's 4 main ones: StreamerBot, Mix It Up, Firebot, and Sammy, with an I. That used to be Leorin board once upon a time before all of their disasters. So for doing the like actual integration with OBS, any of them are going to be great. I like the flexibility of StreamerBot and that it's so easy. So like one of the things that I've done is I have the convert. So we have this convert expanded, and this code here does a whole bunch of different math calculations and stuff like that. And if I want to send this to somebody, I can just add this to the export, hit export, pop a couple of details in here, and send a file over to somebody. They can import it into theirs and have this full functionality up and running within a few seconds on their streams. So it basically allows us to package up and send out these fun little things. And it's my goal to do that with our tarot. Do I still have that enabled? No, I have it off right now. So that was C sharp. Yeah. So this is all written in C sharp. And actually, let me just put this somewhere more friendly. You can see a lot easier if I put it into an actual code editor. Got to get into StreamerBot, then dust off your dev skills. Exactly. Yeah, have some fun. So this one is easy enough because it just gets the inputs 0 and 1. Um, it detects what order they're in, switches things around, um, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm a developer by day. That's my day job. Right now I'm working in Power Platforms, so I get to barely use this. I get to do it like HTML, formatting some JSON, debugging. Um, but the language I'm working in most of the time now is Power Query. It's like Microsoft made up Excel formulas plus kind of crap. It's so weird. You're not a dev, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express once. Nice. But yeah, so this just goes through the switch cases for what your formats are. So this is one of my favorite ones. Um, Power Query, rip of jQuery, kind of. It's used for transforming data in Excel, Power BI, and things like that. So it it's mostly used in those areas. I would say it's most comparable to JavaScript. It's a really light programming language. Do I even remember this command? Yeah. And then convert 146 km, and it'll figure out like what I'm trying to tell it. But I think, did I set this so that I can go convert km 146? Yeah. So it detects that I put the values in backwards and actually flips it over for me because some of the other conversion tools didn't. Um, and I wanted to make sure that regardless of what people were trying, they could do it either way. I at some point I might change up or do a custom one for quotes because every single bot has a different like exclamation mark quote space add, exclamation mark quote add, exclamation mark add quote, like all these different ways of putting it in, and it can't handle them. And even this one I have it just with one, but I would like to expand that so people can do however they want to do that work. um and then Sammy came back and made a joke about we should make it handle Roman numerals. So yes, it does Roman numerals. I don't think I don't think that I currently have it set to where it can actually translate out like 1590. No, I never built that side. I put the variables in here, but I didn't do the math. It'll do Fahrenheit to Celsius both directions and also give you Kelvin. So that was where it all started, was being able to talk to people who use Celsius and Fahrenheit and be able to understand what temperatures we're talking about. So that's kind of the starting point. Um, I was thinking it would be really fun to have a translator, some of these things. Uh, Alka has a lot because he has Wolfram Alpha built into his bot. So he can do a massive amount of calculations and different response types. But we don't have Alkabot here. The other one that we built, actually, I should just add these to YouTube while I'm here because that's easy. Or is it easy? Do you have to have all of that, or will you accept just message? Right now, the convert command is only on Twitch. So if I convert, awesome. Okay. Yeah. So that will actually post to both platforms. I like that. Let's just add a convert from YouTube as well. Actually, we can just do that on the convert command. Okay. What other commands should we do here? We could give them the jump alerts. Maybe confetti with a like 5-minute cooldown or something. We should give them Roman and roll. Clearly, they don't need YouTube. They're already on it. Wait, do we still have an 8 ball? Well, the bot has an opinion about that. At some point, I do want to add the full like list of activities, but I am hesitant because of the whole consent system. That's a big deal. Yeah, so the commands will work on YouTube Live. Right now they're still just posting to Twitch because I have to go in and add the support for the actual post back to YouTube. But that's what we're doing is we're working on that YouTube interaction experience. So I have the YouTube stream up here, and you can see down below me here the chat coming through. So it's got the actual messages that Sammy was caught by the queen. So I've added the painting the roses over there. I've added on-screen reaction if we get a new YouTube subscriber while we're live, stuff like that. Um, so it's not ingrained in the YouTube culture to have live interaction and chat because it's it's very much a Twitch thing. But on my Eagle camera, I got people really used to it because they wanted to know information like when was the egg laid or when did the eagle hatch, what was the last feeding or the last clips that were posted and things like that. So we actually got that group used to using commands because they don't have channel point redeems and things like that. So I'm adding the commands over there. And then like the painting one, because that's a one time per stream redeem on Twitch, um, and I want YouTube to be able to participate in that, I just use the user cooldown at 18,000 seconds, which is the equivalent of 5 hours. So if I do a 24-hour stream or a 10-hour stream because I'm feeling wild one day, like they might be able to lose their head more than once. But that way we get that same functionality over there. That's that, those bigger interactive pieces. There will still be Twitch exclusives, just because channel points is a queue that builds up. If I'm not mistaken, though, hang on. So I'm not always a huge fan of these chatbot systems, but do they still have I don't know that they still use it. Chat commands banned quotes. It's not revenue. Bot counters. It's like viewer data. They may have gotten rid of it here. So, um, we could still do it in other areas, build our own like stream currency and allow that to work that way. They used to have one here, but I'm not seeing it anymore. No, I don't have any elements. And don't plan on adding any, especially any GPT stuff. Um, so they used to have their own point system and store. So it could be kind of cool to do that because it tracks like viewer time. And honestly, I think I could get that if I do like a. I'm going to click over here. I don't like going here. I don't like doing this, especially on stream. But we have the list of people that are here, and I'll just use Sammy here. Um, so I have channel points spent, but I can't actually see anything other than that. But I can do one of the options here. Is it just a Twitch one? Add viewer count. Followers. Subs, user group. Add to group, user in group. Add present user. As a present user ID an index specified. No, that's not going to help. I'd have to look because I know that I can use the user dat files and stuff like that to get additional properties that I'm not looking at right now. And it could be interesting to see because obviously I could give users points in here, and we'll just continue to use Sammy. So like we have the head losses, we have how many times Sammy's been scooped, what Sammy has set for consent for all of our various actions on the channel as well. So those are the user specific variables. So it would be really easy to do something that checks like every 5 minutes, and if user is present, give a certain number of points, or if certain actions add points, remove points, things like that. So we could build a store in StreamerBot, but I would have to think about that so much. On-screen chat obscures so much of the list. I do not have Tickle. It is disabled here. Yes. I see tickling as like very much a non-consensual activity. The waifu bot system is cool. It gives the points the more you engage with chat. Yeah. So this could absolutely do the same thing. Oh, the more you engage with chat. That would be easy. Just like Twitch chat message. Like if a chat message is received, get user give points. And I have the same on YouTube. So these could both just pull the user ID and give them points. I mean, I don't want those on expand or on convert, but that could be really interesting. We'll get the YouTube stats out of the background there. And then it helps the chat engagement. Yeah. You don't use it, but you like the chat point concept. Yeah, I do like that. Or maybe for some people should consent to tickling you before you do, though. Could like being tickled way more than you think. A little too much, in fact. That's okay. Um, I just find it to be really weird because it's like that kind of torturous thing that people do, and it's an uncontrollable thing. It, yeah. I don't mind it so much with certain people. With other people, it really bugs me. So I'm not a big fan of tickling others anymore. Once I started to understand that. Okay. So we've got the convert. Oh, I put Roman and then that was in the commands, not the actions. Um, so that's here. We have the execute code and it's just this. Used to be the fastest way to violence, then whoops, HRT and your ticklish spots became erogenous spots. So yeah. You wonder how long it would take you to switch to StreamerBot. You've wanted to for a while. You hear it's lightweight on your PC too. It is pretty lightweight as long as I'm just using StreamerBot. Like, let me clarify that because there are additional integrations. So you can see like Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Voice Mod, all of this kind of stuff. The StreamerBot website, this one is really cool. So let me pop this off screen just to log in real quick. I'm like, I imagine we'll sign in right away. Oh no, it was a Discord auth. Okay, that's fine. Um, that's why it's the 4290. It's my old Discord login. Uh, when you pop into StreamerBot, you have your account, and this is really cool. So, say that you don't have a Stream Deck, um, no Elgato, nothing like that, and you want to have one. Maybe you have a phone or a tablet off to the side. Pop in here and launch it. This is wired up with StreamerBot that is running on my computer right now. Now, for mine, I'll show you one more thing. Um, I can never remember where these things are at, so sorry about that. Platforms, Twitch, Stream Apps. Here. And luckily these are just my local IPs, so you're not going to get anything from these. But this is my desktop. This is my laptop. So I can have them both running simultaneously. I can have actions being called on one or the other. So I can run my chat commands from a different computer, or when I set up my web server, I can actually network across them. I also have remote access to some of my PCs, and so I can use this to run things from different locations. So this gets into really fancy stuff we don't do here on this particular stream just because I don't need that. But with here, I can actually give my mods. You might find a way to set up your DJ controllers. If you can do a hotkey, it can do it. If it can tap into something through C sharp, it can do it. So yeah, there is a lot of power baked into this thing that you just can get access to on your computer. Um, and then what's really cool is I've actually given access to this deck. So if I go to the editor here, um, I can determine if it's connected or not. This one's not right now. Actually, mine probably aren't. Um, is it this one? Remote private one page. Oh, I'm not in shared decks. There we go. Um, so I have a mod deck that I shared with Sammy, and I have my stream deck that I shared with Annie. And this will actually allow for Annie can log in here, and it uses her Discord credentials, and then she has the ability to fire off stuff. Actually, that's backwards. That's actually Annie's stream deck. This one, um, would allow for jumping in and being able to interact with mine from here. So, and now that I'm looking at that, I'm actually wondering those are probably your stream decks, not mine. Um, but yeah, you can share them out and give that control to other people. Let them actually connect to and control your stream remotely, which is really handy if you're doing something like a talk show or a very involved stream where you're going to have a lot of things going on and aren't going to be able to push buttons. Um, Having somebody else that's able to do that, maybe you're like an on-site thing or doing remote access. So if I was an IRL streamer, for example, streaming from a backpack, um, I think Dynamite Twins do it this way. Some do, some don't, but they'll use like an IP webcam or they'll use a remoted in um, device that just gives the cameras and microphones on site and sends it back to their PC at home and then streams from there. So the stream feed and the IRL connection are different. And it has like fallbacks and all of that kind of stuff. And then you can have a phone connected here and have a mobile stream deck with you while you're walking around, out on a hike in the middle of town, whatever you're doing, and everything is running from that PC back at home. So there's a lot of power for a pretty lightweight bot here. I will read that message later, but thank you. Um, so yeah, this is why I say like you can do so much with this one. Um, and then the C sharp is pretty involved as well. So we do a lot of stuff in C sharp. Obviously, the ones I just showed you, the conversion commands, are pretty lightweight comparatively. Um, if we get into the most involved one is the tarot. So this one actually is two separate actions. Um, the tarot itself, right now, ignore this big block at the top. That's just the cards because I have built a table for JSON. I just haven't integrated it yet because I got lazy, um, and haven't had a chance to come back over to it. But this is the most involved that I have currently. And there's two pieces. There's, like I said, the whole deck. When this one fires off, it actually shuffles the deck. So it does a true shuffle of the cards, rather than randomly picking like a number and removing it from the system. Um, then it sets a bunch of different states inside of. Why don't I just show this? That will make so much more sense. Platforms, Twitch. Do I have it under visuals? No. It's not a noise. Oh, it's probably Biggs. Yeah. So we'll enable that, and I'll just do it because it gets a little confusing. Um, but we fire this off, and it is going to deal out the three cards. And this is all, like I said, it's all happening in that C sharp. So what just happened was everything, and of course it's going to be under chat. Um, Everything in this command for tarot, and I know that's not something we can really see at the moment with that on screen, which is why it's difficult. And then I'll show this afterwards. But what it's going to do is it just dealt all of the cards out, and then, oops, I don't need that. This one has all of our different states, and depending on how many actions have fired, it's going to flip the next card and fire off a bunch of animations. So it's flip one. Or is it flip card? I don't remember. Hi, Nika. Yeah, there we go. So it animates the flipping of the card. The cards can be reversed as well. Um, so all of that, it puts the moon, unconscious, illusions, intuition. And this is just a 3-card past, present, future read. I really need to move chat or just get it off the screen. I don't know. I've been thinking about just moving it off screen since we do this on all of the platforms and I only have Twitch on screen. And then flip the second card and it'll do the same. It'll flip the second card. This one's reversed. So present victory, success, and public reward. And then flipping card 3. It goes ahead and does this. So the Queen of Pentacles, practicality, creature comforts, and financial security is kind of what you're headed towards or seeking. I would normally do an actual reading on this, but I'm just showing the technical side of it. So it's going to leave it up here for about a minute, and without any more chatting or typing or anything, it should reset itself and it should clear the screen and put all of those cards back to their default position. So it's going to run the animations backwards off screen and get everything ready for the next time that one gets used. And yes, it does only allow the person who redeemed to flip the cards. So that's currently how it's built, which I think is a flaw in the system. I like it, but the dependency on somebody else to actually finish commands in order to clear something big off the screen leaves me at a little bit of disadvantage if there's other things going on the stream. So I tend to turn that one back off when we're not using it. I'm just using it for tests right now. It uses the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for the graphics because that one is in the public domain. The backs and the rest of the graphics are ones that I just made myself. So everything's just kind of thrown together. And I would love to do that. But yeah, maybe setting a timer so it flips every 10 seconds or something. It's one of those where I want to add like a sound alert for it actually happening. Maybe a shuffling of the deck and then like the slide off when people deal a card, that noise. Just to give it a little bit more to get my attention. And then my goal is to actually include this as well as something that I can export, package up, and hand to other people. So I could give you the C# code for the flip and the deck and all of those components, and then the actual like tarot itself. In order to do that, you need the Move Transition plugin, a couple of other plugins, and then there is a scene exporter importer for OBS that will actually allow you to import and export that. So then I could package up the whole deck of cards with a scene and give, these are the plugins you need. Here's how you're going to do this. So it involves some instructions. It's not as easy as the others where it's just click import, export, and you're done. But that's our most involved one that we've built so far, and I really have fun with it. Another person that they do mostly Sammy for their bot, and Epivictus. Let me give them a shout out here. And I hope I spelled that right. Yes, I did. So drop them a follow. Like I said, I need to get this chat off the screen. It's just too overpowering, I think. Go into hiding, chat. There's too much going on the screen to have on-screen chat too. But Epivictus, like I said, uses Sammy instead, does very similar stuff. They built, there is a keyboard, I want to say in Genshin Impact, where it uses the letters and symbols to essentially create music, and your spaces are pauses. And so you can send songs into their chat using that system. They also have their own external point system. So most of their like Twitch redeems are to buy points in this other system. And that way you can have similar interaction across everything. So they do some really, really cool stuff. And and I enjoy popping in there sometimes for a look. Sometimes they're just playing games, but other times they're building some really interesting stuff. It looks like their last stream they were playing games, but okay. So we're not going to put tarot over on the YouTube side. We're not going to worry about that right now. Let me just clear this, and we'll just go through a few of these. As Epivictus sits here and just pops in. Hi, I was not trying to call you out of lurk. I was just mentioning you because you build some really cool stuff, and I think that some of the folks that are interested in building cool things for their streams or finding out what kind of potential there is would be happy to pop over and check it out. Spin, thank you so much. It's so good to see you. What else do I want to do? I do want to take, so these ones are random actions. Well, not all of them, but some of them. Oh, that's a set scene. That's fine. But like this, join us in Discord. I want those to also go to YouTube. I would love for this to also go to TikTok, but they don't have that yet. Hopefully that can come soon. I imagine that there's a lot of extra work for that to happen. Sammy, I'll put some hello worlds in here for you. Well, maybe we can just have a command that just says hello world. What do I have it run? That's Discord timer. Oh my gosh. Do you think we need a hint? Here's the link we're using for hints in Uru. How long ago did we play Uru? You got to go to beds. No worries as we get into the ads. Swifty, you get some good sleep, and feel free to reach out to myself or Sammy. Sammy also is a wonder with StreamerBot and stuff like this. So, uh, pop back in and join us for some of this later. But for now, get some good rest. Chai, I saw you're lurking. Thank you so much for the lurk. And quickly saying hi. Now you're back from work and currently cursing past you for not doing the dishes this morning. Past me in April, cooked up a giant batch of spaghetti and thought I was going to be home. I wasn't. I took off the next day and I left my crock pot sitting there with spaghetti in it. And if you remember, I was not home for more than 48 hours between the end of April and the last weekend. So everything has had 2 months to sit and establish cultures and become this absolute toxic nightmare in my house. I have to say I'm very grateful. Piper came over and wanted to hang out with Nika, and I was like, yeah, you can totally do that. And she did a bunch of dishes and really helped make a big dent in my multi-month nightmare. You actually took your idea of, oh my gosh. Hang on, we gotta look back here. Two chat windows and I can't get the message. You saw someone do something similar with the Zelda Ocarina of Time. If you play the old Nintendo notes, it will activate the game song. Oh yeah, yep, very cool. And Epivictus says took that and made it next level, built an entire piano sort of. So you type any of the 88 keys and it will play it out. Yeah, so fascinating. You'll message the YouTube video. Feel free to post the link in the chat as well if you'd like. We do allow links here, so there are no bots to ban you for that. So feel free. Sometimes when the stream is quiet, you can hear it singing, "I'm just a toxic mess bag, baby." Oh no. You're not wrong. As the music stops. Oh my god. You brought out Butthole Surfers? I haven't heard this in forever. I don't know if it's going to like this one. It's like, go get that link. Sure, it can do it that way. Okay, roll we definitely want to add to YouTube. Roller is I do need to see if this works with YouTube because it's just user. Yeah, it's too quiet. It's pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain. All right, let's see if roll works over here. What was it? It was roll 69D420. Or not. Oh, wait. No. Okay, that got it there. Do I not have a space in it? Raw input. Oh, split on the D. Okay. I am not getting a response. Nope. Are you kidding me? I left out a semicolon. Sweet. Okay. So just to nerd out there, you can roll as many dice as you want as long as it's within the length of the chat. Um, so for example, even though this just posted to both no commas on the total. Look, I didn't want to format my text string. Okay, I have a limited number of characters. and one more comma would have been the like comma that broke the chat's back. We could add a format for it. Nice. So now that is posting to both Twitch and over to YouTube, which is fantastic. And it tells who rolled regardless of what side you rolled on. So both chats actually get that bot response message. So even if it's not on screen, they're still going to get some interaction there. Um, awesome. So we've got roll, we've got convert. Did I ever test convert? I tested that it was writing. I didn't test that it was working. Convert. I message and Sammy jumps in, and Sammy actually somehow got her message through before mine. So yes, YouTube responses worked well. I did not see Twitch. Oh no, Twitch responses came through as well. Perfect. Oh, that was cool too. So when you posted just exclamation convert and it gives you the response about how it works, it also posted that over to YouTube as well because I put that in a generic message, not separate error handling. So cool. Okay. Convert, roll. I was going to do the same for 8-ball and Roman, although Roman doesn't have a lot of use. 8-ball command. Oh, this one's so light compared to some of our others. We have given that to YouTube, so 8-ball. Will I get to the redemption arc? I already know the answer, but let's see what the chat bot has to say. Nice. And it responds the same message to both sides. So it's not two different messages, it's one message. I approve of that. Okay. What other actions do we want to make sure are over there? I do want things like trigger warnings to go over there. This is kind of a one-off. So let me just make sure that the command is there. Sammy, I'm going to just take a guess that you have not had a chance to look at the auto trigger stuff again since we last discussed that. And absolutely no worries. Future stream like we don't need to do the auto trigger stuff. What? No, we were talking about doing a search through the API for Does the Dog Die to find whatever game is currently flagged and get that response. Oh, that was it right there. So I have it started where it does a search for the game and I get a response, but I haven't been able to get a usable response out of this yet. Essentially, I guess you guys don't need my API key, but not that it hurts anything. You remember and know you haven't done a lot of stream tech. Kind of sad about that, but also life. Yeah, no, life is important. So no worries. That's something I want to get back to. That way, regardless of what game we're playing, we should be able to enter exclamation mark trigger and get back that response, just like we do with our um, death counter, where it builds a variable and automatically does that, so we don't have to do any additional setup at the beginning of streams. That's what I would like to do for video game triggers as well. Okay, we've got the follow alert or the subscriber alert for YouTube on. We don't have raids coming from that side, so that's okay. This one, God, I love seeing how over time these all change. Life is annoying, always getting in the way of sleep, right? Sleep, fun things, things we want to do, just always there. So this one, oh, I need to do a little bit more on this. So what this is doing right now is it randomly sends a message into the chat. I don't even know if it's been doing it tonight because I haven't been paying attention to that. Where it posts like join us in Discord, lets you know that we have anonymous follows, posts the latest YouTube video or current YouTube live, as the case is most of the time nowadays. So this isn't as valuable. Hey, grab a clip, add a quote, join us on the other socials, Insta, TikTok, wherever. Yeah, Instagram and oh yeah. I'll just post this one into the chat because I can. Let me let Nika out real quick. We'll be right back. Camera, are you following me? Yes, you are. How about you come back over here and lock right there? Thank you. All right. I'll be right back. I don't know if you saw that, but I walked over here towards the door. I opened the door and she just sat down and looked at me and was like, And then I realized she must want dinner, except her dinner's already in her bowl and her water bowl is completely full. And she just looked at me like, but wait, I didn't get anything special. And I'm like, no, you're not getting Taco Bell. So now she's eating her food. She was like, okay, I get it. But it says it's still a secret, but it's not so much a secret. I'm working on planning a painting stream on August 31st. So obviously that's over a month away. There's just been so much like chaos in my schedule, and I haven't felt confident enough to say we're going to do this on this day. But I do want to do a painting stream, and I want to do a painting stream where we do something that's actually like a special paint project, not we're just going to do quick paintings and all of that kind of stuff. So we'll be painting the Phoenix, and I've got it primed and ready. So you can see there's a little dusting of white on the wings and all of that. But yeah, I'll be doing some promo for it, and we'll be painting this. But the link is there as well in the chat, so I could post it on YouTube too, just in case there's anybody over there interested. I know you're here tonight for tech, but we do bounce around a little bit. So I'll post that there. But that's for the Phoenix. And this is obviously from Archon Studios. You can get it because they've put it in the retail pack already. But this has been sitting on a shelf for quite a while, and it's time to give it some color. Uh, and having it out on August 31st, if you do want to paint along, that'll give you time to order it, get it, and get ready to paint with us coming up at the end of August. And I think that is words. I think that's Labor Day weekend because I think that's the Sunday. Yes. So here in the States, that's Labor Day weekend. We should, most, if not all of us, have Monday, September 1st off as well. 80 NZD, and it has to come from Oz. Oof. Sammy, let's chat offline and see if we can work out something different. We might have, another location we could ship from, or find a shipment that's already heading over there or something. Darn small island countries, all their weird rules and stuff. I'm really kind of worried about it. So I ordered the Caves Kickstarter. I did not jump in on Port Haven, which I'm kind of glad right now. I'm bummed on Port Haven because the campaign I'm building, having a port town, the big ship, all of that stuff would be amazing. And the ship during the Kickstarter, they're selling it at like $100, but retail, it's going to be much more than that. That's 100 USD for one ship. And I get it. It's like a 3-story building, essentially, that you can take apart, and it's a playable terrain. It's really cool. They have 2 different variations on it in its normal plastic, and then they have the translucent plastic as well, so you can have a ghost ship. I was like, this is brilliant, but that's $300 just to have boats that would basically take up my whole desk. And it's like, where do I put 3 ships? Where do I put even one ship? So I decided not to do it, but that would be so much fun if I had the more space to put it. It would have been a really exciting piece to have. And a really fun piece to paint. But we've got other things to paint. Obviously, I've got the things that we've been working on that I need to get finished up here. And Lord Farquaad is still sitting here from when we started painting him and then had to rush out the door. And I feel so bad because I didn't even finish painting things like this little gray spot right here on the side of his cloak. Yeah, that's just a spot where I didn't get to with my paintbrush. So he needs some attention. Poor guy. Yeah, I'm going to do the random messages. I want to do more about the interaction than the random messages. So I'm going to keep looking here. We did do the YouTube subscriber. So let me just make a note over here. The reason I'm calling this random message expansion is right now what this does is the random message comes in from this random command, either a command or timed action, and it does one of any of these actions. And I never know which one it's going to fire off. Instead, what I'm going to do is the timer is going to go into one action that fires 2 actions. Those 2 actions will be the random actions that have all of these, one set for YouTube, one set for Twitch. And that way it will know what to go through. So yeah. Okay. Advanced shout out. This was actually for a YouTube video and I want to come back to it. This is actually a really fun one. It's relatively simple because it's not C#, which is nice to have that break sometimes. This goes through and gets the information from the target, and then it does some ifs. So it checks first if it's specific users, because if it's one of our friends, we want to do a special shout out for those friends. Then it looks at if the user is a partner, an affiliate, or not an affiliate. And then there's an additional message here. If it gets through all of that and it hasn't found the user, it's like, hey, I think you typed the username wrong. This was actually a response to a question we got on a YouTube video about this particular person wanted to be able to have a special shout out for partners, a basic shout out for affiliates, and if they typed in something and the user was not an affiliate, they wanted their stream to assume that the user is not a streamer and not shout them out. I didn't like that. So instead, I went a little bit different and made it so that it could go a little bit of a different way. And so, like, hey, so and so is a partnered streamer. Like, great. This user might not stream yet, but they're still really cool. So we kind of wanted to build that out, and I think it would be fun to build this out even more. And then, of course, we don't do exclamation mark SO, things like that here. We do the default Twitch shout out and then send out from there. But I want to look at that a little bit more because Sammy's got one, which is the queued shout out, and it will store a queue and then fire them off as soon as the time becomes available, which is a really cool way. And I would love to combine that queue with this as well. Affiliate links, those are sales links. I'm not going to worry about that. Those are bit alerts. That is multiple charity stream commands. We're not going to worry about that today until we have another charity stream, which I haven't officially signed on yet, but there's a good chance we'll be doing another focused 1 week long charity stream in September. Not on my birthday, but close to it. We've got the chat actions. I would like to add these. Yeah, I'm really struggling with this system and how little it gets used for how involved it is. And then, yes, Sammy, since you asked, tickle, high five, lick, meme, moan, and pet are all disabled. Okay, chat commands. I'm just going to make a list of which ones we should bring over here. We've got cat fact, dad joke, dog fact, friends. Oh, this was this is one of those things that I don't use very much. Before we added our ability to get a free shout out, people could do exclamation mark friends, and yeah, that is so very broken. It would pull a shout out for a specific user from a predetermined list of people that we had identified as friends. So I might build that out again because I like the idea of it just promoting our friends and randomly sharing a hint about somebody that's really cool. We've got our games list. Is that still there? Like, is this on my own website? I don't know. Okay, yes. It definitely needs to be updated. This doesn't need to just be updated. This needs the movie list treatment. This is at least 2 years old. And what is with this font? Like, this is so bad. Oh, that's the old movie list. You don't want that. You want this one. So we need the game list to have this formatting, and I need to add a proper header for the website. So if anyone's bored and wants to work on a website, I could definitely use a little hand. Um, what I like about this, obviously, this one is very, very involved, but that's you. Dragon Wing, let's talk. Because yeah, I would love a little bit of help. Um, it's funny that I'm a web developer. Like that is my job, which is also why I don't do this. Uh, but yeah, we could pop in here and search genre and go horror and find what horror movies we have, stuff like that. I would like to expand the game list to be similar. That is a lot of data, like trickery. Um, this one I got lucky because I was able to find an API that let me search IMDb and then pull everything back. And then I looked at the few that didn't get results because out of the hundreds, there was only a few that didn't have results. Um, the game lists, I don't know what my game list counts are up to. I think I'm at close to 500 on Xbox. I think I've got like 150, maybe 200 on PlayStation, probably another 100 or so in Steam. And I have probably played 100 of all of those. I probably only ever will play about 200 of all of those, but you know, um, no, this is really fun. Oh, I have to do some work, but I might put on 12 Monkeys after stream. Um, so if you enjoy, end of the world, time travel, and Bruce Willis, uh, you know where to find me. Okay, but I don't need that to go to YouTube right now. Get help. This is Twitch's page. I want to expand this one. And I don't know what that means right now. I want it to have a more direct link, other tools available. It's still going to be in chat. So the reason why I like the existing crisis pages is they often have a one key dump out in case somebody gets interrupted and are not safe. 12 Monkeys. Wait, that's Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis. Yes, it is. Is that good? Is that bad? Should I know something that I don't know? Can I just say thank you for continually pulling out the late 90s, early 2000s? Um, Grisale, we're going to leave here. Hype is a Twitch one. Merch rotator. Okay, I feel like the merch commands should be available on all platforms. Um, does this one go to the? Yeah, this goes to the right one. Good. Um, game list / website. Talk to Dragonwing. Nope. There we go. Uh, the PNG VTuber, but it's a command that doesn't do anything. Can I test this even if it's off? No. Okay, it's not enabled because the piece is missing. There's supposed to be a GIF that pops up for that one, so that explains that. Random movie. Is that still there? And Bruce Willis. You haven't seen it in so long, right? Okay, that list is not up to date or anything either, but that's okay. Safe word. I do want to copy this one and have it go to YouTube. So let's just do that real quick. This is a simple one, so we'll just make it happen right now. And that command is safe word. Okay, we don't need to test anything there. Save. What does this do? Oh, I like that this one has a 1% chance of doing this instead of this. I think Chai is the only one that ever uses this command. Oh, the shell challenge. That was a specific stream. Oh, I haven't seen this in a long time. Is this still a command or a redeem? It is a redeem still. Okay. Who can do the spikes command? Moderators and VIPs can do the spikes command. Okay. So mods and VIPs have free spikes. Everybody else, they're 300 points. That's good to know. Maybe we need to change that one. If you've never seen the spikes, it helps if I spell it right. Microphone. So it mutes me while the spikes are on the screen too. So that one's one of our more disruptive ones. Um, I feel like that and resetting would be. There's a very cute documentary about this song on YouTube. I believe it. Time? What? Is this a thing? No, you're not a thing. My ass if he knew about the things on my block. And he drives a IROC. I love how many variations this command has. Vi space PLS, Vi PLS, Vi PLZ, Vi space PLZ. Or you can do exclamation mark violacious. They basically do the same thing, although exclamation mark gives you the definition and the other one does not. Oh, that's just a command to give the YouTube live in general. Okay, cool. I can really clean up convert, but we just added convert to YouTube, so that's great. The D&D encounter we have not built yet. So this is generic right now. I do want to build that out, but that's going to be a lot. Those are sales links from the drag streams. Giveaways. I feel like we could add YouTube to giveaways. I'm not too concerned. I say that and then I think about it for a minute because if we're going to do anything for the affiliate anniversary, that's going to be coming up in about a month. So I need to think about that quickly. Hugs, death counter. Um, that's a check-ins. Mod only, not used. Podcast. This is the other place we need to look at. The point redeems. Um, card draw? What is this? Oh, did we ever finish this? I'm not seeing any messages. Okay, it's broken. You think you compiled just fine? This was a test when we were building out the tarot. Um, Instead of going through and having all of the different possibilities, this would build a deck, and this builds a deck of cards with the 4 suits and then the 13 possible card types. And then for each string in suits, it would first randomly pick a suit, and then it would afterwards randomize and pick the value. So that doesn't quite do what we want. But this was trying to figure out the shuffling of cards and all of that. Painting the flowers we just added. Challenge wheel is not currently here, and that is not found. Oh, this was when we had a wheel that we used to spin, and chat could redeem to make me spin the wheel, which they did, and then it landed on Poppy's playtime, and then I was begging chat to spin the wheel again to get me out of Poppy's playtime. That's actually how we ended up playing Celeste. We spun the wheel after finishing another game. Oh, this was a scene switcher that would just switch from a scene, set an argument, go to another spot, wait for 10 seconds, and then flip back. That was for it looks like we were actually using that for Fool's Errand. Big Emo early crew ending. Yes, the early crew technically has support for 4th and 5th, but I have them disabled right now. Glitter are just random sounds. Game wheel is not going anywhere. Luigi is for scary game time. I guess we could do a Nika treat over there. Maybe add screams. I'm not sure if I want to do that. This is trick or treat stuff. This is Halloween. I'll build this out for the YouTube side when we get closer, because I have to figure out what we'll do for Halloween this year, and I need to go through all of these offline. Last year we had a few that got stuck. There was one that was supposed to flip my screen over, and it actually caused all sorts of stuff to break. So I need to think through that one a little bit more. Because the idea of it was to make my gameplay backwards, and we didn't have a true crowd control. Valentine's we don't need to do, at least not for a long time. Wonderlandian we don't need, and we already covered all of that. Okay, cool. That's just our random messages. Yes. Oh, toggling static onto one of the cameras. That is not commands. That's for Twitch. We do have the jump scares, so we could add all of these. showing love, it's not there. Setup, subathon. Tarot, we already looked at. I think this is more sales stuff. Oh no, this is I started to think about this and I haven't built it out yet, but I thought about doing something to share some of my favorite things. We'll see what happens with that later. TWG, we don't need. Oh, we could give Urban Dictionary. Is that currently set twice? No, it's only one is activated. Okay. Oh, yes. So, you know how I mentioned earlier that I wasn't going to talk about my own mental health? Um, my personal mental health journey and struggles. Um, how do they want me to send this? It's send YouTube message, right? Um, I'd already decided what was kind of going to happen with me at that point. But I was having a real hard time. This song, New Radicals, You Get What You Give, got me through so many hard days. It is, but it's like the actual message in it. And it's funny because they didn't put out another album. I guess the lead singer like hated the new wave sound that they were doing because they were so far out of the new wave timing. But it's a really empowering song. And like some of the parts are just ridiculous, but it still hits. Let's add urban support over here. Let's go make sure that we put a semicolon at the end of that. Yes. Okay, good. um, perfect. I don't know that reference, but I think it's funny that that's the one that Urban Dictionary always brings up when I say that word. So I use it. So now they have Urban Dictionary support over on the YouTube side. YouTube stream setup. This I don't have anything specific to YouTube at this time, just like it's not included in credits. Demos and things that are still being built. I have a define that I'm working on. This is not working yet. I was trying to kind of see if I can build it off of the same function as Urban. Someone's excited. What did I give it that title for? Test check-in. I have no idea why I gave it that title. I'm going to change that later. Latest subscriber. This was for another test. I do use these ones, the poll start and completion. these are fun because you can do a poll on Twitch and so we put a poll up there and it will actually respond and let us know if I have poll start. Oh, poll created doesn't do anything, so I have to call that out. Um, but then when the poll is done, this one's in 2 minutes, so you can open up the poll at the top of your chat and respond to it. You can vote once for free or more times with channel points. These are mostly just parts of it. Redact. Okay, if you want to time out a user, but only for 1 second, and you don't actually want to type in timeout user 1 second reasons, all that stuff, you can do. I think this is a mod only command. I hope this is a mod only command. Nope, it is now. Wow, I have had everyone have the power to time out anyone in chat for 1 second, and that'll clear out their most recent messages as well. I think this was just me being goofy because I was thinking like spoiler messages and stuff like that they could be, and unmod people. Yeah, that no, the likeliness of somebody knowing that they had that ability is low, but yeah, we're not going to leave that one on. Oh, right. Screenshot tests. You guys know that one. This was a fun one because it would allow you to take a screenshot at pretty much any time on stream. Was the timeouts part of the Halloween stream? Yes. That one's okay. I'll go back to that in just a minute because that's some really fun stuff I'm going to revisit later. All right. The poll has ended and my bot replies in chat. The poll result was 1. And the reason for that, I'm just going to pull this over, is here's the note. Poll ended this minute. Twitch's activity feed does not tell me what the poll answer is. So if I look at the top of chat, like right now, I can see the poll is here. But this is going to go away after just a minute or so. And when it goes away, it's gone. So I have no way of getting that back. And then I'm reliant on other people. Did you see what the poll was? And it's just a silent thing. So I had it post to chat because it was driving me crazy. Okay, Christmas card base and YouTube shout. So yes, the timeout that was part of Halloween. Where did we put that? I was just looking at it a minute ago. It might be under redeems. Yes, tricks and treats. And they're just here by numbers, and then trick timeout or treat timeout is exclamation mark timeout. It gets the info. If the target is a moderator, then switch over to doing this one instead, or else continue. If it's not a moderator, it'll time out the user for 69 seconds, put a message they've been timed out, and execute this code to remove them from the group because this is a one-time timeout and was just what they could get from a trick or treat. The timeout copy gets the info from the user, times them out for 69 seconds, and says, oh, the other user must have cast reflect. So this one I don't worry about. Also, I highly doubt that there's anybody left in there, but there could be. Let's see. Halloween VIPs, myself, Annie, and Egamoto. Shri, although Shri's a mod now, so it doesn't matter. And Spin still has a shout out from the system, but I think I need to fix this shout out. And the Timeout Club. Oh no, there's actually a lot. Sassy, Panda Queen Jen, Danger Darren, and Creative Corner all have timeouts still sitting in their treat bag or trick bag, whichever we want to look at that one. So yeah. I was like, that got really quiet. I forget how slow the intro to this song is. Um, okay, so we added roll, we added 8-ball, those are done. Yeah, let's talk about the website offline. I can show you kind of what's going on with that and what some of the branding is. Um, I don't think that I technically have a style guide, but I pretty much do. We're going to expand the get help command, the crisis command, to do more than just Twitch. These will just be updating those messages to send messages. We'll do, I don't even do the merch rotator. So I'll have to think about what I want to do with that moving forward. Urban, we just did and tested, so that's actually done. And Roman needs the inverse formatting anyway. Sammy, do you remember? And maybe I wrote it down. Okay, but notes about creating a video about the scroll of silence. So that's what we just talked about. Chat commands, Twitch, YouTube, and mod level override to both outputs. YouTube shout out. Oh wow, this note is so old. I have things like bringing over the 8-ball and things that were in other chat systems. Goals, holiday reads, social media tips from viewers, spike redeem sound, listen to a band. Okay. I love that I just have notes. Watch this show. Like somebody said, watch this, and Vi, you should watch this. Um, oh, for Biotech stuff, I have notes about my day job stuff. Next games I can actually remove. I just need to make sure they all made it over to the other Discord. Paint the roses, add the Queen's blindside counter. We did. Know user profile, on screen chat. Okay. I have the D&D on stream note we'll look at later. I think I'm out of my immediate notes. Yes. I thought that we had discussed something, but now my brain has totally lost it. Okay. Wonderlandians. If you're out there lurking and hear this or not, I'll probably follow up. I have notes for Chai. Thud, I need notes for. Agamotto, I've got. and Shri, I'm going to follow up with this week. So I've got 5 actually, because Annie as well. I need to finalize that. Serenite Blood Rose, hello, hello. Welcome in. I don't know why you're here, but sure am glad that you are. I hope you're having a wonderful time zone wherever you're at. And let's snooze these ads. We don't need to run them right now. And Dragonwing, I'll ask you to stop the request at this point because we'll wrap up pretty soon. Don't remember where you're at? No, just don't remember why. If I didn't know where you were, I wouldn't know where I was, and that would be really concerning. No, we've been working on some functionality expansions. So we've added some functionality over to our YouTube stream tonight. So our friends on YouTube will be able to use the convert tool, our dice roller. They will be able to paint the roses along with those over here on Twitch. Gosh, what else did we add over there tonight? I need to make a list of these as well. They can do Urban Dictionary conversions. So that's now available over there. And we started to look at some of our other things. So some other stuff that we're going to add over there includes the cat fact, dog facts, and dad jokes. We're going to expand our random messages to send over there, but I need to rebuild that system a little bit more in depth. We're going to expand right now. Somebody could do !crisis in chat, and it will bring up the Twitch crisis page. But for YouTube and other platforms, I want to send that to another location. So I'm going to look into that one. We've got our merch, which right now we run through Fourth Wall. But I actually have 3 active merch stores, and I don't want to maintain 3 active stores. And one of them is hidden, but I was able to find it the other day. And I don't really like that because it's wired to an expired credit card. So that's kind of problematic. And it's a business account. So the way that particular store works is when somebody orders merch, the company that prints it and ships it will bill the customer and me simultaneously. So the merch gets paid for twice, and then they pay me back for my part, but I cover the initial order before they get the money from anybody else. So it's a very weird store system. It's more on the business side, just so that it separates cost from profit. But that's not exactly comfortable having a credit card just sit there for funding a store. The reason is that I could do giveaways through it where I could give discount codes of 0 and cover the shipping. And I would pay at cost. Whereas if I go with other stores that have giveaways, I'm paying customer costs and then I just get my own profit back. So it's kind of a wash, but it was still a weird system. And it gave me access to additional products that I can't get in some of the common print on demand stores. So yeah, so merch is something I'm going to revisit. And then, yeah, we're going to look at updating the game list to use a table similar to what I currently have for our movie list. And I'm going to talk to Dragonwing about maybe doing some updates for the website since it could desperately use some. It has not been updated since our tagline was Wholesome Madness. And about 8 months into streaming or something, we let go of that idea. So I actually used to own wholesomemadness.com. I don't know if I still do, but that was going to be the brand here, and that's not anymore. So yeah, Um, but yeah, how about we take a look at maybe getting out of here? I am going to pop over to the Discord because do. Yeah, and it was redacted once you found. Oh, once you found my stream, it was redacted long before then, luckily. But very good point. Let's see what are folks doing out there in Twitch land tonight, and find a place to take this party. Um, what platform am I looking for? Fable spell list. Why are they talking about Fable? Is there a Fable game in the in development right now? Do. Oh my gosh, there are so many guildies live. I know that they're ending. I didn't look to see if my audio was routed to music or headphones or where. Oh no, we've got ads. I was hoping to get out of here before that, but we're gonna raid out anyway. And let's go see. I am not even following this person. This is a fellow guildie. So let's go to Peanut Butter Rampage. And if you can, grab one of these raid messages for us. Either ours with the emotes if you're subscribed, or the one with the bleed purple and goat emoji if you're not. For YouTube, we are saying farewell here. But for everybody else, come along, show another guildie some love. They're playing some Minecraft. Looks like they have a toaster. I don't know what is going on in Minecraft these days. There is so much stuff that has been added, and I don't know if it's mods or what. But it's got lots of new stuff over there. Our plan is to be back on Wednesday night, unless something comes up. There's always that possibility. So keep an eye on the Discord. You'll see that link there in the chat, both on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, join us over there in the Discord, where we'll be just chilling. And like I said, I'm going to walk across the room, grab 12 Monkeys and pop that in, because I just think it sounds like fun to watch it tonight. I don't know why. It just does. Because we looked at the movie list and it was in the numbers. That's why. Anyway, we are out of time, so we will see you all again very, very soon on your own channels for the many, 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 many of you that stream everywhere that we hang out together, and hopefully back here again soon. And until then, bye.